Welcome back to Focus on 5, where we are celebrating 70 years of WNEM TV5. Please enjoy this look back at TV5's rich history and legendary broadcasters that made us who we are today.
The one person missing, according to the captain, was right at the worst spot, and there's the possibility they may never find his body because of the force of the blast. No fumes in the air. We do not smell any gasoline in this area, either also downwind. So that's kind of in our favor at this point. Also, the Coast Guard has stretched containment booms across the river. We do not see any oil slick, but in the aerial photos, you can see a little sheen in the water. We do not know exactly how much has gotten loose into the Saginaw River. Emergency foam put on the fire has arrived at the scene. Some of it, we understand, from Dow Chemical, some of it brought over from the petroleum facilities in the Alma area.
Afternoon from News 5, I'm Kimberly Harms. The Bay County Emergency Service Department is preparing to declare a state of emergency on the Saginaw River in Bay City, where a tanker carrying 2 million gallons of fuel exploded early this morning. Now, emergency crews are hoping a cable that is holding that tanker to the shore does not snap or burn, because it is the only thing that is keeping that ship from drifting down the river and possibly into one of the river banks. We go now first to Eric Gila, who is standing by live at the scene to tell us how that cleanup effort or containment effort is going. Eric, which of the two is it at this point?
At this point, it looks like a containment effort. Maybe behind me here, you can see the yellow boom. This is in a sense, a floating sponge that stretches across the Saginaw River right now in case any of this gasoline gets loose in the water, at least a considerable amount of it. Another thing, Kim, you might notice all the seagulls flying around here. They're feeding on the dead fish that are now floating on the surface of the Saginaw River. There's a lot of them out here, so there's going to be some environmental impact, and that's an angle that Mike Avery is currently running down now, and we'll be having more on that later on.
Well, Kimberly, of course, the main concern over this entire accident is safety to people, but there is a secondary concern, as you mentioned, concerns about the environment. Two things right now: the black cloud of smoke that we've seen drifting over the city, what effect will that have on people and the environment? The second thing is, of course, what happens to the river. There is concern that gasoline could end up in the river. At this point, I can't see anything that indicates that there has been gasoline spilled into the river. However, there are booms downstream to try to solve that problem. One thing we have noticed right now, I want you to take a look at this. We made a walk down the Saginaw River just a few minutes ago. Look at that. Crappies, sheephead, walleye, even carp. But look at these two right here. A trophy crappie and a real nice walleye. We can't say, I can't say right now that these things were killed because of the fire or explosion. We'll leave that up to the experts. One of the questions in my mind is these things didn't start to surface until about 7 hours after the explosion. Why? I don't know.
We have a little information on that missing crew member now. We have been told by the Coast Guard that he did make it overboard and was last seen with the third mate trying to swim towards shore, and that was the last time he's seen. As we heard in our early reports, several people were taken to Bay Medical Center. 3 were hospitalized, a couple with burns. The others that were treated and released were treated for the shock of getting in the cold water. Another thing, those of you that have been watching us through, we've been talking about those bilge pumps. They're no longer running, and the boat is now slowly listing to the left. Although it tipped quite a bit in the early going, we don't see it tipping much more than it has been, so we don't think it's in danger at this point of rolling over.